So, Partha, explain to us what is your field of research? What exactly you are working on? Let's say you can, of course, explain scientifically, but also a little bit also for those who want to see your video, not necessarily being a medical doctor or a biologist, but just because this interview is not only about that, so they can also bit of understand what's all about your researches.
Mhm. Sure. So I will try to explain it as well as possible and as simple as possible. So this is something what my father told me, that Peter Drucker, a famous business management expert from USA, had said that if one has understood something, one should be able to tell it to a 10-year-old
Right.
student or a 10-year-old child. So my field of interest, my field of research broadly is neuroscience, and I got my PhD in the field of neuropediatrics and metabolic disorders. What I was working on is the understanding the mechanism of action of ketogenic diet. So a lot of people now today know about what is ketogenic diet, but in simple terms, it is a diet which induces something called as ketosis in the body. So a diet which contains a lot of fat, about 70 to 80% fat, about only 10% carbohydrates and 10% proteins, or even lesser. So this is the composition of the diet. So to give you a very simple example, a ketogenic diet is something, if I've taken a pan and I want to make some vegetable in it, but I want to make it ketogenic, I add maybe 3 or 4 or 5 full tablespoons of butter or ghee to it, and I would add maybe 2 pieces of broccoli, for example. That would then become ketogenic diet,
Okay.
and maybe some seeds. So this is something. This is a very simplified example,
That's
and I
right.
might be wrong in terms of the percentage of calories and so on and so forth here. But this is the kind of a ketogenic diet. So basically, one has to avoid bread, one has to avoid rice, one has to avoid also eat very less pulses, so on and so forth. So it's a lot of ghee, lot of butter, lot of margarine, and so on and so forth.
Certainly
Then
not
so
for those who
what
come
we
from
did was
India.
we focused on a specific group of enzymes called yes,
Go
yes,
ahead.
I mean it's difficult, it's difficult. I mean, I'm a vegetarian myself, and I have tried to do this diet, and it's difficult, it's very hard. But I have to say, I have to give an example here. There is a dietitian in Pune who I met. She has designed a ketogenic diet specifically for vegetarians, and this is really good, this is really effective. So I think there are a lot of new things happening in this area now.
Okay. Go ahead.
um, so the ketogenic diet is basically, it was invented in the early 1900s. It's basically used to treat epilepsy, to treat seizures, or what simply people call fits in English also. And apart from this, this is used to treat metabolic disorders. This is being tried now to treat cancer, some forms of cancer. Then people are also on an experimental basis trying to use ketogenic diet to treat neurodegenerative disorders like Alzheimer's disease or Parkinson's disease. So it has a wide range of applications. What the public knows generally is that ketogenic diet is being used for weight loss.
Mhm.
So that's a whole another discussion, and I will not go into the depth of it. But this is also one of the things that people are commonly using the ketogenic diet for. And so this is the story of what is the ketogenic diet and what is it used to treat. The problem is, despite the ketogenic diet now being used for 100 years, a century, we don't know how exactly it works.
Mm.
So there are many proposed theories, there are many proposed mechanisms of action. Some of the theories have some evidence, but we do not have concrete evidence of how exactly what happens in the body after we consume the ketogenic diet. We see that the seizures go down, we see that the patients are getting cured, but why is it happening? So as we know that when any drug is developed, we first we first need to see how the drug is working, and then they develop the drug, and then it is given to animals, then to humans, the clinical trials, so on and so forth. In ketogenic diet, it happened the other way around. The ketogenic diet was given as a treatment, it worked, but till today we don't know exactly how it works. So this was my thesis title, Understanding the Mechanism of Action of Ketogenic Diet. And in this we explored whether the ketogenic diet in neuronal cells, so I did not work on patients, but I worked on the neurons, the brain cells of mice in the lab. This is what I worked on. And we fed them the ketogenic diet, and then we observed a group of enzymes called sirtuins, and we studied the energy metabolism of the cell. So as people might remember from the school days, mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell, what it is called, we studied the enzymes in the mitochondria, and we also studied the lipids present in the cell. So the lipids make a lot of membranes of the cells and other constituents. So this is what we studied in my thesis, and we found that the ketogenic diet alters sirtuins, the mitochondrial metabolism, and lipids in neuronal cells. So this was the outcome. So in a very, very simplified manner, I would say that we are maybe a very, very tiny step further to understanding how the ketogenic diet works. So
Yeah.
if later people are interested, they can contact me and I can send them the publications
Yeah, like
that we
most
have.
of the research is right. Everybody does a little bit at some point of time, somewhere the full picture
Yes,
is emerging, right? Um,
yes. It's a big jigsaw puzzle,
yeah,
and maybe we made a small part.
wonderful, wonderful part. I think that's really, really you explained that. I think as simplified as possible. And coming to the last minutes of the dialogue, so what's up for you? What's in front of you? What's your roadmap? How it's going, or what's something that you have already planned? How it looks like?
Mhm. Yes, so that's I think in principle, I think I'm taking one step at a time. So the first step was getting into MBBS, then the step was becoming a clinician scientist, which by God's grace today I could finish my PhD and become a clinician scientist. Now I'm looking to further specialize in the clinical field, which would either be pediatrics or genetics or maybe related to neurology. So right now I'm in the process of getting my medical license in Germany. So it's a bit of time taking process, but one has to submit a lot of documents and so on and so forth. So this process is currently going on, and I hope to do a residency, a specialization, or what they call in German the Facharztweiterbildung in one of these fields, and then continue doing some research on the side, and continue a lot of collaboration. I'm keen on doing a lot of collaborations. Getting and Indo-German is the start, but maybe later on even involving other countries.
Why
So
not?
Indo-German, because I come from India and I'm in Germany, so that's the natural path. But also at the international stage, and what I said in the very beginning, that I may have taken arts, and one of the subjects could have been political science. I actually, in the future, after maybe I establish myself in the field, I'm thinking of even going into policy making or politics, and it would be great if I can work on a bigger scale to impact the health system, the science and technology system, and the education system of our country. And this is something. It's a very it's like looking at the North Star right now. It's far away, but that is a path which I would love to take if given an opportunity.
Wishing you all the very best. I hope that you can
Thank you.
get to the place where you want to, or the things that you would like to achieve. Maybe we can have a dialogue at some point of time together with Dr. Tanya Joshi as well. So I think both of you can also share a lot of things, and also maybe from her perspective, one can also see, because though she's also coming from the medical background, of course, dentistry and further, and I know she's also working. So maybe we can do a kind of Germany from the eyes of Indians, something like that, So maybe one can look at it in a different way to see what it is. Um, yeah, thanks very much, Partha, for this. I think it has been, we are already an hour. I mean, it went like that, there are so many things we discussed. We will post this after editing, and we'll also get back to you and then for the public view through the Consulate General of India. So thank you once again, and thanks a lot
Thank you very much for inviting me to this session.
Absolutely, and it's our privilege, and thank you very much. And to the viewers as well, thank you again, those who are watching this. And we look forward to you in the next edition of Nisarg as well. Thank you. All the best. Partha, all the best. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.